Good morning, my friends, and thank you for coming to join me. Coming to join me for another shave. Today is an everyman shave brought to you by Pinaud Clubman. This is one that I hadn't used for a long time. It was sitting there all forlorn looking, and it needs used. Also, this is one that there's actually a little, just the ring left. I'm very close to 3017ing this, which means I can put some samples in there, and I can load off this a little bit smaller container, 2-ounce container, but it's a nice size. We're lathering with the Chupo del Grande Especial boar brush, which is also known as a Vanderhagen. It's a fine brush. I've used it for a long time, probably from the very beginning. And today we're featuring a super speed blue tip, a flare tip blue, kind of a mild razor with the feather that I used when I was testing the A3 or AS. What did I write up here? The ASD2. I took off my glasses and I don't remember where I put them. So we're doing this blind. And we'll finish up with Clubman because I've got everything Clubman here. Clubman towel, Clubman aftershave. So I'm not going anywhere. It's Saturday. Mommy's working. She should be on her way home. She promised to pick up Arby's or Rax, whatever it is, the local flavor shaved beef sandwich. And we're just mere couple hours from Dave's shave clinic. I didn't want to miss that. I've been straight shaving for a long time, but you can always learn something. It's never you never know everything about it. And just like anything else, a wet blade still slides along there pretty good. And then when you have a blade that can split the atom, it just slides right along. And this reminds me very much of the Feather ASD2 razor. Maybe just a touch less mild. But this is a mass-produced razor. I suspect there's maybe a little bit of human intervention along the way with the ASD2. As proud as they are of them, I would imagine that there's some customizing or a little bit of fitting. Oh, good grief. A little bit of fitting to make that razor work just as good as it does. I can't imagine it works that way straight out of the molds, but the way that razor's made, I wouldn't be surprised, really. Someone showed me it would be something to see. I've been binging on some engineering films on YouTube where they discuss the joys of sintered metal injection. You can get some pretty high degrees of precision using that method. Powdered metal mixed with the carrier is injected into a mold and then heated so that the metal congeals, because it's powder and it congeals into a solid metal, and they have to account for the shrinkage of because the carrier obviously is going to get burned away or melted away. It gases off, so there's going to be a certain amount of shrinkage as the razor finishes, and so all that has to be taken into account when they make the mold. It's just art and science all built into one little package, and I think that's just wonderful. And that's how they make a lot of gears and workings. And well, the guy I've been watching specializes in power tools, but I'm sure transmissions and everything else is made that way, because it's far more inexpensive than machining out gears and whatnots one at a time on a CNC machine or just traditional machining. That's got to take a lot less manpower and time and resources to inject precision metal casting, which I think is fascinating. That and the fellow I've been watching kind of has a salty way of talking, and he's very entertaining. This razor dates what is it? Oh, this is a D. What? Oh, D1. F. See, I'm F. So this is 57. First quarter 57. This was originally purchased for the wife unit, but she says the handle's too short. But it is mild enough for people with a light beard. You know, youngsters or Asian people like me. Although my father's a white guy, so he was a quarter Indian, or indigenous American, I guess we'll call it. I'm not genetically predisposed to a lot of facial hair, so it's unusual for me to be able to grow a fairly decent stash. That's 3 passes. Let's see how we're doing here. Clubman's, I don't know what its base is, but it's nice and slick even after the shave. The writing on here is so darn tiny that I can't read it. But just splash a little water on there and then it's plenty slick. I could do a full pass on this. This is one of the few factory soaps that I do keep in stock. I got this one at Arco, and I have some Williams still in the box. It was such a disappointment, but it does a pretty good job as a pre-shave. Being able to go back over like that ensures that I got as close a shave as humanly possible. This soap is actually a little difficult to rinse off. It's slick, 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 and stays on there. I got reasonably hard water. There we go. Let's see what Mr. Allen says I did. Oh, no problem. And Mommy should be coming home just any minute now. So I'm getting this all together. Might as well put that in the water to rinse out. And I canted my Clubman into a smaller bottle. And it's glass, so it'll last a little longer. This is what they have on the counters at the country club. I was a member of the local country club because I worked for a company that offered that as a benefit, and always had Clubman lined up in the locker room. It was kind of nice. That's how I got my introduction to the aftershave. Although at the time I was still using a electric razor. And a little bit of powder. Even though I tried real hard to rinse the soap off, it was still just a little sticky. And despite having had frost a couple days ago, today it's going to be 80 degrees. So Ohio weather, who knows? Anyway, that's all I have for today. We got a wonderful shave. We used a Clubman, Pinaud Clubman soap. Just a plain old barbershop, along with the matching aftershave. We used my Vonderhagen boar, and I shaved with the it's a 1957 Gillette Super Speed flare tip, or Gillette flare tip blue, which is the mild one. I'm Major Rich. You'll find me on the shavingcadre.com. Great group of guys there. If you've never visited, I encourage you to do so. This being Saturday, I hope you're having a good weekend, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.